Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of Seen Beyond and Through with Monty. Yesterday, I did a video detailing how JLo's accusations against Wesley Snipes were bogus, that they were lies, that they were slanderous, and basically she was just full of it. In today's video, I'm going to do like a part 2 on that because there's something in which I want to touch on. But if you didn't catch yesterday's video, go back and watch it. Summary in short, she did a movie with Wesley Snipes about 25 years ago called Money Train. They had a love scene together in which she claims that she felt violated. She goes on to make a lot of bogus claims that I disproved in a video that she forgot she made 25 years ago. But during the scene in which she declares that she was violated, which is, she's trivializing the term. She tends to be jumping on a bandwagon. She's been very grandiose about this. She wants to add her name to this particular movement. She goes on to say that, he was a big star at the time, blah, 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 blah. She goes on to say that we were both completely naked. I proved that to be true. She claims that she had 3 love pillows made. And she says there was nothing between us. That's a lie. She says that they put a love pillow between her. She said, the wardrobe lady did, through her love pillow. So basically, in short, I proved that she was lying. And what type of narcissistic behavior this is, what type of attention seeking this is, revenge behavior this is, who knows? But we do know that we're not dealing with the person who's completely there. Now, something that I want you to touch on in that video, because she claims that Woody Harrelson, who was not on the set on that particular day, came to the set in roller skates or rollerblades, trying to peep. He was basically being a peeping Tom at her naked body in the love scene. He basically had no business being there. But here's the point. It's strange how, with his peeping Tom antics, she doesn't seem to have a problem with that. She doesn't seem to have a problem with this guy who had no business there being on the set, taking a look at her naked body. And she says that she was in a relationship. So she seems to not have seen this as being a violation or something perverted, which it is. But before I go on, I want you to hear what she's saying about Woody. And what you're going to hear is that she's giggling, she's laughing, she's being very lighthearted about it. Something that she's not taken very seriously, unlike what she's doing today with Wesley Snipes. Take a listen.
But Woody, psycho that he is, ever since the first day he said, all right, can't wait till you guys shoot that love scene. I'm like, this guy's crazy, I didn't know, that he was serious. And then when we did the love scene, I was so wrapped up in what I was doing, but he wasn't working that day. And here he comes roller skating down the street outside the apartment building. He's a freak. He wanted to peek, I was like, what? They're like, Woody's trying to break in. The director wouldn't let him in. Woody, he's like bolts from the set as soon as it's done, He was on the set on a day he wasn't working so he could get a peek at the love scene. That's Woody, in a nutshell.
So apparently, she had no problem with the white guy being a pervert. She had no problem with the white guy being a peeping Tom. She had no problem with this guy being in a place where he should not have been. She had no problem with him possibly violating her body, looking at her naked body, when he was not given permission. But she has all this problem with Wesley Snipes, who was in a love scene with her. And by the way, She didn't understand the assignment, if you believe her. Because being in a love scene, I mean, you're not going to sit up there and be a rock. You're going to be still. You're going to simulate sex. You're going to touch bodies. That's the assignment right there. But I believe that she's complaining because of who it is. If it was Woody Harrelson, she would not be complaining. Apparently, this is more of her type, and that's okay. She seems to be very happy, jovial, joking, as I stated before. It's not a problem with Woody. And I would like to know, if her daughter was 18 years old, would she have a problem with the guy peeping at her daughter? So I want to get into this right here. Erin Andrews awarded $55 million in Peeping Tom lawsuit against Nashville Hotel. You peep at someone's window, that's a crime. That is considered a criminal act. There are laws against being a peeping Tom. And doesn't that go against the MeToo movement? If you're trying to have a MeToo moment against Wesley Snipes, which is about, sexual exploitation, violation, degradation of women. Now it, I guess, includes men too. But basically, Woody Harrelson should have been held to the same standards as Wesley Snipes. If you're going to Me Too Wesley Snipes, why not Me Too Woody also? It seems like you have a problem with one, but you do not have a problem with the other one, which tells me that she's full of shit. Erin Andrews awarded $55 million in Peeping Tom trial. Peeping Tom is against the law. That violates the Me Too movement's code. It's a violation. Apparently, she did not feel violated with Woody possibly being on set and looking at her. She kind of welcomed it. Had the producer or director not have turned him away, it would have been okay with her. But she has this big problem with Wesley Snipes, but not with Woody. Here they go again at a premiere. So apparently, her gripe is to me as to who it was. If this was a love scene with Woody Harrelson that she did, she would not be complaining today. She's complaining about Wesley Snipes because he was not her type. And that's okay. But be honest about it. Be fair about it. And being fair about it is just keep your mouth shut. What happened on that set, I proved with my video yesterday that it was a lie. But getting back to this, him not being her type. A lot of Latin cultures, she's Puerto Rican, you can go to Dominican. I live in California with a lot of Mexican Americans. They can be very anti-black. They can be very racist, very prejudiced, very colorist. Many times they tend to stick to their own or white people. So it's safe to say that Wesley just was not her type. She was probably turned off by him, not really into him. And it created some type of residual trauma to her, maybe, that she's still, living to this very day. Now you may ask, but didn't she date a guy who looked like Wesley? Yes, but we're going to get into that too. And you know what? It is okay that if you have another race of people who are not into black people, that's okay. It doesn't say anything about black people because most people, most ethnic groups, most races, most, not all, tend to be race loyal. Now, dating a guy who looks like Wesley, here's Woody right there. The only complaint about the Wesley situation is that it was not Woody or a guy who looked like Woody. She dated a guy similar to Wesley's phenotype, Puff Daddy. Puff Daddy is only about a shade lighter than Wesley, so basically it's the same coloration. Both are dark-skinned black men. The difference with her dating Puffy is that if he did not have the power, the position, or the money to lift her to where she wanted to go, she would never have dated him. So this was not really a date in truth. This was like social climbing and dating. Puffy physically is not her type neither. However, he had something that she needed. He was the executive producer. Actually, pardon me. He was the owner of Bad Boy Records. He was the head honcho there. He is a producer of records. And at that particular time, I do believe that he was worth like $300 million. This is 25 years ago. His estimated wealth today is about $900 million. So therefore, she dated someone with clout who can get her to where she wanted to go. She was social climbing. She was basically doing what a lot of women do, or a lot of people do. Date someone out of convenience. Date someone to see what they can do for you. Or date someone who can do something for you. This is what this was about. So make no mistake. Just as Wesley wasn't her type, Puffy wasn't her type neither. But she was willing to deal with this and stay in it based upon his position. So, in saying all this here, I think it's really tragic that she's trivializing a movement, that she's basically throwing a man under the bus who's just getting back started again, so to speak. We know that Wesley Snipes did prison time. We know that he's not as powerful in Hollywood as he once was. But basically, what she's doing, it is really sick to me. Being violated as a woman, or for anyone, is a very serious thing. The MeToo movement, to me, is very serious. But it's people like her who trivializes the movement, who trivializes women being violated, just to bring attention to herself, or to jump on a bandwagon to join the movement. Or maybe she has some type of revenge against Wesley. And I truly believe that a combination of things is going on there. He's not her type, that she did not want to do the love scene with him. And I really believe that she just doesn't like him. All of those things mixed up into one. But those things mixed up into one does not mean that or constitute someone being violated because you were not turned on in a scene with them or someone who you did not want to do a sex scene with. It's one of those situations that she should have just let it die. Because obviously I proved that what she was saying was a lie. Check out the video yesterday. You clearly see out of her own mouth that what she's stating today, she forgot she stated 25 years ago. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, that is another edition of Seeing Beyond and Through with Monty, and I will see you all beyond and through.